whoever's out there, you get the door prize. Oh, I logged on earlier. Realized I didn't have the tablet ready on Wi-Fi, and I don't even know if the phone's on. I should have checked the phone. Shoot, maybe I'll come off, kick off again. Okay, if I have problems streaming, I'll start over. If the signal gets interrupted. In fact, I forgot to get the other tablet set up. Pardon my mess. Pardon my construction. Pardon our construction desk. I gotta get my other tablet set up. And the coffee cup out of the way. I can't see what I'm doing because I just turned the light off. Should have a hanger or something I can drop over this. Turn the camera on. There you go. That way it won't blind you. Okay, lights on. Lights on, but nobody's home. Come on, this can't do that. Stop it. Too much junk and not enough. Too many chiefs and not enough Indians. Okay. Get over there. Closer. Closer. Okay. Now what? Live stream. Library. Videos. Live. Come on. Live. I'm learning slowly. Okay, it doesn't say. Oh, there it is. Maybe that's it. Nope. Don't get it. I am not knowing why it is not doing that. Come on. Back to library. Your videos. No, I gotta go up here. That's right. There, here, channel. Yeah. I guess. City set on the hill. Part 12. We part 12 now? Yeah, I think we are. Cool. There you be. Come on. Come on, pull it up. Pull it up. Turn the camera on. Okay, somebody was there. Sorry. I apologize. Okay, my monologue. What am I going to say for my monologue? Oh my gosh. This isn't Johnny Carson. It's not. Whatever that guy's name was. I don't know. Ed McMahon? No. Jay Leno. Yeah. Gotta have a monologue, right? No. Okay, so my sense is this. And I'm hoping people will listen to this afterward. Let me start off with saying good evening. I start with whatever time it is. If it's good afternoon, I'll say good afternoon, but good evening since it's evening. Fast forward, just good morning and good afternoon, YouTubers out there in YouTube land. I know there's people around the world and around the country that are going to see these, so just give a shout out to the people in Spain that might pick me up. Hello, Patrick Greenfield. God bless you. I hope you're still alive and get over here someday. Don't care what country you're from. Don't care where your wife's from. Russia's cool though. Donnie Orr, get your ass over here. Get off that west coast, people. It's Volcano City. Sitting on a whole stream of volcanoes. Cascades is all volcanoes. Sierra Nevadas, I think, are volcanic. New Mexico's half volcanic. British Columbia's got about 40 volcanoes in it. Idaho's got several volcanoes. Washington, Oregon, they're all volcanoes. Watch a Nick at Night. Nick. Ooh. Nick. Zarowski, something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, fabulous lecture. One of the Nick Zortner, something Zortner. One of the greatest lectures I've ever heard. He's entertaining, engaging, just humorous, serious. Full of information. He's what I call a forensic geologist. He tells about 5,000 years ago, Mount Rainier blew up. Same thing like happened with Mount St. Helens. But when a volcano like that was covered with ice and snow, glaciers all over the place, blows, all that ice and water and snow is transformed into, guess what? Mud. And the water melts, it picks up all the mud and all the ash, and it just flows. Tacoma, Washington is on a plain going out to the sea. It's level for miles and miles. That's because that was 5 to 600 feet deep in mud. And he shows proof of that. So anyway, there's a passage in, I think it's Chronicles. I'll look up the passage, but somebody can look it up for me. If you just look up, the men of Issachar were men of understanding and knew what Israel ought to do. I need to look that up because it's a good it would be a good lecture. So, in fact, let's suit actions to words. I'm big on that action. I don't like to sit around and do nothing. So let's see if I don't have it on that tablet. Doggone it. Well, I can find it though. Wish I had a microphone. Maybe I do. The men of Issachar knew what Israel ought to do. First Chronicles 12:32. Might as well preach it, brother. I wish these Bible hubs and things would have the whole passage context. There we go. Not a context. Crud. First Chronicles. First Chronicles 12. I should get this set up so I can see it. Good. One day it was set up really good. Okay, no, that's not it. First Chronicles 12. Oh, dang it. Okay. Anybody out there is going to say hi? We're all playing hide and seek here. Jack, how you doing? Good evening, Jack. You the only one who wants to stick your head up? Oh, crud. Come on. If I click off of it, I'm sorry. If I hit the back button, it goes off of the screen. I hit it by accident twice in a row. Okay, Jack, how you doing? Good evening. Okay, here we go, people. Listen up. This is to everybody that's going to listen to this. Let me get the hell over here where I can see it. Okay. I'm going to pick up when I'll just read the whole chapter. I'm going to skip some parts, but I'm going to read most of the chapter. Okay, let's put it that way. I'm going to read some of the chapter, maybe half of it. First Chronicles 12, if you want to follow along. I'm going to read out of the King James Version, not some funny version. Now these are they that came to David to Ziklag. Now what was Ziklag? It was a fortress. It was fortified, or he wouldn't have been there. While he yet kept himself close because of Saul the son of Kish, and they were among the mighty men, helpers of the war. Why was he at war? Because he was hunted. Saul was trying to kill him. Okay. They were armed with bows and could use both the right hand and the left in hurling stones and shooting arrows out of a bow, even of Saul's brethren of Benjamin. The Benjamites were really good bow archers, bow warriors. Okay. The chief was Ahiezer, and then Joash, the sons of Shema the Gibeathite, and Jeziel and Pelet, the sons of Okay, I'm going to skip all that. And Ismaiah, the Gibeonite, a mighty man among the 30, and over the 30, and Jeremiah, and different Jeremiah, and Jehaziel, and Johanan, and Josabad, the Gederathite, sorry, and Naaman, and Shemariah, and Shephatiah, the Heraphite, Elkanah, Josiah, Azariel, Joezer, Jashabim, the Korites, and Joel and Zebediah, the sons of Jeroam the Gedor. Now the Gadites are separated themselves unto David into the hold to the wilderness, men of might and men of war fit for the battle, that could handle shield and buckler, whose faces were like the faces of lions and were swift as a rose upon the mountains. Swift as a roe on the mountains, bold as a lion in flight. I'll read that poem someday. Then it goes to a whole bunch of 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. These were the sons of Gad, the captains of the host. One of the least was over 100, and the greatest over 1,000. These are they that went over Jordan in the first month, when it had overflow all its banks, and they put to flight all of them of the valleys, both toward the east and toward the west. And there came of the children of Benjamin and Judah to the hold unto David, to the hold, the fortress of area. And David went out to meet them, and answered and said unto them, If ye be come peaceably unto me to help me, mine heart shall be knit unto you. But if ye be come to betray me to mine enemies, seeing there is no wrong in mine heart, in my hands, the God of our fathers look thereon and rebuke it. I'll tell you what, that's true right now. That's happening right now as I speak. There's people who have pretended to be friends and have been betrayed. They betrayed a trust. They betrayed a very good friend, supposedly. And may God have mercy on their souls, because I don't think they have long to live on this earth. I'll just put that out to them. If they hear that, fine. If they take it to heart, hopefully they will. If God hardens their heart, then it's for judgment. And whether to hell or hell you bend, God will have glory in the end, sir. Then the Spirit came upon Amasai, who was the chief of the captains, and then he said, Thine are we, David, and on thy side. Thou son of Jesse, peace be unto thee. And peace be to thine helpers, for thy God helpeth thee. Then David received them and made them captains of the band. And it fell some of Manasseh to David when he came with the Philistines against Saul to battle, but they helped him not. For the lords of the Philistines upon advisement sent him away, saying, He will fall to his master Saul, to the jeopardy of our heads. So the Philistines were saying, yeah, David's going to fall. Saul's going to take him out. Saul's too great for David. They were wrong. And he went to Ziklag. There fell to him of Manasseh Adnah and Jozabad and Jediel, and Michael and Jozabad and Elihu and Zilthai, captains of the thousands that were of Manasseh. And they helped David against the bands of the rovers, for they were all mighty men of valor and were captains in the host. For at that time, day by day, there came to David to help him, until it was a great host, like the host of God. That's what's happening right now, people. People are going to be coming to gather to the Lord. And these are the numbers of the bands that were ready armed to the war, and came to David to Hebron. Now it's not Ziklag, now it's Hebron, okay? Hebron was a fortified place. Hebron was a small area, but it became bigger. Later, it was called Jerusalem. And what you see here is that there's a concept of Zion, a concept of Jerusalem. People worship the city of Jerusalem over there, and they should not, because it's not there anymore, really. Not biblically, it's not there. You can call it Jerusalem, but it's not really there. Jerusalem, the word means city of peace. Is that a city of peace? Nope, not now, never was. You don't need to worship a city. That's stupid. Worship the Creator. And these are the numbers of the bands that were ready armed to the war and came to David to Hebron to turn the kingdom of Saul to him, according to the word of Yahweh. And the children of Judah that bear shield and spear were 6,800, ready armed to the war. Of the children of Simeon, mighty men of valor for the war, 7,100. Of the children of Levi, 4,600. And Jehoiada was the leader of the Aaronites, and with him were 3,700. And Zadok, a young man mighty of valor, and of his father's house, 20 and 2 captains. Now Zadok is an awesome person in the Bible. I don't know if this is the same one, but Zadok, the priest, later was the only priest that stood by David when he was trying to be dethroned by when Absalom was trying to dethrone him. If you look up, there's an epic poem, an absolutely epic poem by John Dryden. There are like 5 men who are the greatest poets in the English language, and John Dryden is one of them. John Milton is one. I can't name all of them, but it's interesting that several of them had this topics on the same. He wrote their poems and treatises on the same subject. I'm not going to say what it is right now, but it's important. And if you look up, do a little bit of research on John Dryden, you'll find out that he wrote an epic poem about Absalom and Ahithophel, and it's a very critical poem on that issue. Absolutely critical. One of the greatest and most important poems ever written in the English language. And of the children of Benjamin, the kindred of Saul, 3,000. For hitherto the greatest part of them had kept the ward of the house of Saul. Okay, so where was Saul from? The house of Benjamin, right? Remember that? Benjamin, son of Kish, Saul. Anyway, so they were protectors of the house of Saul, but they apparently left him and came to David. And of the children of Ephraim, 20,800. A lot of Ephraimites, right? Mighty men of valor, famous throughout the house of their fathers. And of the half tribe of Manasseh, 18,000, almost as many as Ephraim. Those are the 2 great tribes that were blessed by Joseph. They were Jacob adopted. If you remember the story, this is very important. I'll just rehash it really quick. Jacob came to buy grain. He sent his sons at first to buy grain from Joseph. This man had risen to Egypt, and they knew he had food. Go buy food, or we're going to starve. So they came and they bought food from Joseph. They didn't know who he was. He knew who they were, and he hid himself from them. He disguised himself. They didn't recognize him. Okay, so they buy food once, and they go back to their father, and they run out of food, and he sends them again. And Joseph says, "You need to bring your younger brother. Do you have is everybody here? All your brothers here?" "No, we have a younger brother." "Well, bring him." "We can't. Our father will die if we bring him." "Well, bring him anyway. I don't care. Bring him." So they brought Benjamin. He just played with him a little bit, You know the story. If you don't know the Bible, read it. It's important. Your life depends on it. It's literally, seriously. There's lessons in here that I see people that read the Bible all the time. They read the Bible more than I do. They devour the Bible. They read it word for word. They word for word Bible reader, but they don't know the Bible. It's very sad. And there's a saying that says, "He that knows only the Bible does not know the Bible." You cannot possibly know the Bible if that's all you know. You can't even know the Bible, can't even understand it. So I see people that read the Bible all the time are constantly breaking biblical laws and principles. That's very sad. And it's very telling, and it's very drastic, very damaging in their lives, and will be fatal at some point. So, okay, so here we go. Oh boy, so now follow what's going on here. These people are gathering to David, right? I need something to put this on. I need a stand. I got a stand, but I can't use it. I don't know, Fred. I apologize, and it's very unprofessional laying in bed like that. It's tough shit. You live like I have, then deal with it. That's how you deal with it. You'd be dead. So, find somebody else like me. Download. Don't turn it off, though, dummy. Come on. start over. I got to start all over again, I guess, right? I don't know. I don't understand. First Chronicles 12. Let's get down. Maybe this thing will work. Yeah, it'll work. It'll work. That will put the run. Okay, is that gonna work? Okay, First Chronicles. Where was I at? Now follow along here. This is important. What's that doing? Go away, stupid advertisement. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, so we're into 22, 28. And Zadok, a young man, mighty of valor in his father's house, 22 captains. Children of Benjamin, kindred of Saul, 3,000, for hitherto the greatest part of them had kept the ward of the ward, meaning they kept protection of the house of Saul. They came over to David. Okay, and listen to this, the children of Ephraim, 20,800, mighty men. Jacob sent because there was famine throughout the land, the 7 fat cows and the 7 skinny cows, right? Jacob's family was going to starve, so they sent his sons to Joseph to buy grain. And they 2 trips, and they come back, and they finally bring Judah. Judah swore that he would protect Benjamin and bring him back, and if he could have his life, to Jacob. So they brought Benjamin, and then, he finally reveals himself. He demands that they go back from again without the young lad, without Benjamin, younger brother, David's younger brother. Well, Joseph's younger brother. Sorry, I'm tongue-tied. This is just an off-the-cuff rehash. So they're supposed to go back to their father go back to their father without Benjamin, Joseph's younger brother, both by Rachel, of course. Remember that? Rachel cried, was not. Okay, so. Anyway, Joseph finally reveals himself to his brothers, and they cry and they make up and everything. And Joseph says to him, "Don't worry about it." He says, "You meant it for evil. God meant it for good." Now remember that line. It's so powerful because that happened. A brother of mine can say that to his 2 friends who are brothers. You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. God's got his hand in this. He's supernatural. He's all powerful. He's all knowing. Time is not relevant to him. Neither is space. He's everywhere and every when, and he can handle what's going on. So rest assured, he can handle what's going on in your life. I'm talking to you, whoever you are out there. God can handle this. Your enemies are his enemies. Jack, it's okay. He's got you. There's going to come a time when these people are going to go down. Pharaoh, God hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he would oppose Almighty God, and he got wiped out. Him and his son, his eldest firstborn son, was dead, and he was killed in the Red Sea. So, yeah. So anyway, Joseph, known to his brothers, and then so later on, his father comes to him in Egypt, and the Pharaoh says, give him a place. They really bless him because he's your father. Oh man. My family, and the fact that my sons are blessed because of the way I brought them up, and that they don't see that. Jacob's in Egypt, and at some point, he is blessing the sons, and he pronounces a blessing on all the sons. And at one point, he blesses Joseph, of course. The blessings over Judah are very specific and very powerful. Genesis 49:10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh tranquility come to the besieged gathered obedient people. Now, where do you see people gathering who are obedient? I mean, there's a whole group here. There's a whole Facebook group called Ozark Set Apart. Torah observant, Torah observant, obedient. They're trying to be. I mean, they again, people that know the Bible don't know the Bible. There's a lot of them like that. They're very finicky, very standoffish, very argumentative, and they got their own. They believe what they believe, and everybody else is wrong, and that's very sad. That's one of the most divisive things I've ever seen in my life. But there are people that are gathering in the attempt to be worshipful and to be obedient, and to do the Father's will. So there's more and more people gathering, and it's going to be, like I said before, and I'm seeing this now. I've said this for 20 years. There's going to be a trickle, and then a steady stream, and then a river, and then a flood, and then a tsunami of people coming here. And we're seeing that an uptick now. I can't say whether it's a trickle, the stream, or whatever, or the flood. I don't think it's a flood yet, but I'm seeing an increasing. I have right now, I can't even tell you off the top of my head, 3, 4, 5 people today contacted me to say, I need to get out. I need to get out now. I need help getting out. Portland, East Coast there in Pennsylvania, mom with 3 children. Mary, hello. Dave in Texas, hi, buddy. Rock out in Colorado. Jack over there. She's already in the Ozarks, but it's not a good part of the Ozarks. So don't think that just because the Ozarks, it isn't all the same. It's not one big happy family. I think it will be someday, but the people who are evil, the witches and the warlocks and the evil people are going to go down. People that oppose the work of God are going to go down. I think in the course of that, some of those people are going to be saved. I mean, there's going to be, I know I know a woman who, a guy that I know said to her, I have a pile of wood in my yard with your name on it, because you're a witch and I want to burn you. I really liked the girl, I'm sorry. In fact, I spent the night at their place one night with a friend of mine. So, just because I needed to go to ground, I needed to rest, I needed to sleep, or I was going to die, so I trusted him. I went there and we spent the night there. So, in fact, I had set up for, a woman wanted to get out of the East Coast, and she came out here, and I for lack of anything better, I've said, I need to put her somewhere I can trust, someone I can trust, and I called them, and they said, sure, we will take her in. In fact, they have a whole operation going to take in, single, traumatized women. So it didn't work out, but not on their part, it just didn't work out because she had very bad eyes and the scleral contacts and had to have a super clean environment. So ended up going somewhere else, and it worked out for her. But anyway, another person that did not listen to my advice and paid very dearly for it. Anyway, shut up, Jerry. Okay, fine. Be that way. So we're getting down here to David, but I want to go back to the thing about Manasseh and Ephraim and Manasseh. So as Jacob is out getting on in his years, he tells Joseph to bring your sons to me so I can bless them. Now he's already blessed. He's blessed Joseph. Joseph, it says in 1 Chronicles 5:2, read it, very powerful verse, one of the most important verses in all of Scripture. To Judah was given the scepter, the right to rule, but to Joseph was given the blessing. Joseph received the double blessing. He received the double portion. If you understand, there's 2 parts of a blessing, patriarchal blessing. One is the rulership, the right to rule. That's what had been to the tribe of Judah, but Jacob split it, and he gave the right to rule to Judah, and the right to the blessing to Joseph. So when it came time to Joseph set his sons on, with Manasseh on his left knee and Ephraim on his right, and Jacob crossed his hands, so he put his right hand upon Ephraim's head and his left hand upon Manasseh's head. And Joseph said, no, it's so, Father, because hey, the guy's blind, he made a mistake. And Jacob said, no, I know what I'm doing here. Be quiet. And he blessed Ephraim as to be a nation, a great nation, and a company of nations. And Manasseh would be the great nation. So figure that one out. So the fact that what happened in through all these patriarchs' lives is very important I feel to today, because all those things still apply. Those blessings are still there. They're still being passed down from generation to generation. that scepter. The people have no idea what it is. This is what I'm telling you. That I told you, I made the remark the other day that God can bring about the end times, how everything's going to roll up, the scroll's going to roll up, everything's going to happen in a way that nobody, and I mean nobody, not John Walford, not, John Ryrie, not Schofield, nobody had a clue about. And that's what's going to happen. I can guarantee you that's what's going to happen. Everybody says, "Oh, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. This is about to happen." No, you don't even know. Number one, you're not even basing what you believe on the Bible. You're basing what you believe on what a bunch of dumb men said, stupid men. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing, didn't know what the hell they were writing. Because Daniel said, the angel told Daniel, "Close this up. Nobody's going to understand it until the end times." Well, we're not in the end times yet. They certainly weren't when Schofield and Walford and Ryrie were writing all their crap. We weren't in the end times yet. They had no clue what the hell they were talking about. So I'm being a little bit blunt. Too bad. Deal with it. Somebody said that last night, I think it was, call a spade a spade. That's what I'm going to do. Call a spade a spade. Hey, you're a spade. No, you're a queen of hearts. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, I don't know what that refers to, but call a spade a spade. Yeah, just tell it like it is. That's what I'm trying to do, okay? So, back up. Ephraim, Manasseh. So Ephraim, Manasseh, they received the double portion. Joseph was doubly blessed. He was doubly blessed. He was the one that said, had the dreams about you're all going to bow down to me. All your brothers are going to bow down to me. They didn't like that. Neither did mom and dad. Who do you think you are? People bowing down to you. Come on, get off it. So it ended up happening. His brothers bowed down to him. Literally. Hey, can you please give us some food? They bowed down in fear of their lives because he held their lives in his hand. But over Ephraim and Manasseh, he pronounced a double blessing, and they said things like, "You shall hold, you shall take or hold or occupy the gates of your enemies." And gates are passes and places where you have to, get through. Passes on land and straits and isthmuses in the ocean. And I'm just fast forward, blah blah blah. I'll just throw it out there. What the hell? Ephraim was to be a nation and a company of nations. What's another word for company? A commonwealth of nations. Everybody heard the word Commonwealth of Nations? Yeah, the British Empire, upon whom, for many years, for the empire upon which the sun never set, because it was worldwide. It was all around the earth. The sun never set on that empire. The British flag, flew everywhere in the world. And at one point in time, between that nation, that company of nations, and the United States, every single pass on the entire earth, I won't say planet because there's no such thing, every single pass and every single isthmus, every single strait, every single canal was held by Britain or America. Now, did they fulfill their mission? Oh, hell no. Did they bring about the kingdom of God? No, they did a lot. They brought out a lot of suffering. The United States brought on more suffering probably than any other nation in the history of mankind, in a very real sense. They're right now destroying nations as we speak. So, but anyway, so Ephraim and Manasseh were both doubly blessed. Joseph received a double blessing, and that blessing went just like it was multiplied upon Ephraim and Manasseh. So, there you go. Okay, so that's why I just comment on that, because it says the half tribe of Manasseh was 18,000, almost as many as Ephraim was 20,800. Okay, and then let's go to the next verse, which says, this is on video, and everybody could see everybody. Wish I could see all your ugly faces. Oh, that's right. Okay, and the children of Issachar. Now listen to this. Listen to this. This is the verse I was going to get to. So this is the important verse here. Oh, come on, don't do that, please. Don't do that again. And the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do, the heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at their commandment. Okay. The men of Issachar, the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do, of Zebulun, such as went forth to battle, expert in war, with all the instruments of war, 50,000. So Zebulun had 50,000. It doesn't say how many were Issachar. Of Naphtali, 1,000 captains with them, shield and spears, 37,000. Danites, expert in war, 8,600. Asher, 40,000. On the other side of Jordan, the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, the other half-tribe of Manasseh, with all manner of instruments, 120,000. So between Reuben, Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh, which on this side of the Jordan were 18,000. Was it 18,000, right? Something like that. Yeah, 18,000. With the half tribe and two of the tribes, Reuben and Gad, there's 120,000. That's a lot of, the others were like 20,000. Well, there's 120, so like 50,000 on Reuben, 50,000 for Gad, and maybe another 20,000 for Manasseh, or maybe the bulk of them was Manasseh, maybe 50,000 of Manasseh. All these men of war that could keep rank came with a perfect heart to Hebron. Now get this verse, people. And these men of war that could keep rank, they had to be able to keep rank, came with a perfect heart, a pure heart, a mature heart to Hebron. Hebron is a little part of Jerusalem, if you didn't know that. Hebron was a fortified place, which later Jerusalem grew up around it, okay? It was a fortress. And what we have here is a fortress, a massive fortress, biggest fortress ever in the history of mankind, in the history of the world. 50,000 square mile fortress. They came with a perfect heart to Hebron to make David king over all Israel. And all the rest also of Israel were of one heart to make David king, except for Saul's little bunch. And there they were with David 3 days, eating and drinking, for their brethren had prepared for them. Must have killed a lot of cattle, huh? Moreover, they were nigh them, even unto Issachar and Zebulun and Naphtali, brought bread on asses and on camels, and on mules and oxen, and meat and meal cakes of figs, and bunches of raisins, and wine and oil, oxen and sheep abundantly, for there was joy in Israel. So add that up. 20,000 here, 20,000, 120, probably about something close to 500,000 people. 200,000 anyway, easily. Somebody add it up and let me know. A lot of men gathered to David. That was a big bunch of warriors, okay? And it says they were prepared for the war, the battle. There's a battle coming up. So the main part I wanted to say was the 32, the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times and knew what Israel ought to do. The heads of them were 200, all their brethren were at their commandment. Okay? And what's the upshot of the whole thing? All these men of war that could keep rank came with perfect heart to Hebron to make David king over all Israel. And all the rest of Israel were of one heart to make David king. So they're coming to Israel to make David king. So gather together and we'll be one big happy family. Okay. House of Tobiah. Huh, interesting. Double portion. The double. Yeah, he's in the double portion is the right of the firstborn. Yeah, but see what happened though. That's a good. I'm glad you brought that up because what can you tell me what happened? It was split. It was diverted because the blessing, the firstborn, who would it have gone to? Who was the firstborn of Jacob? Reuben. What did he do? He screwed up. He went into his father's concubine. Okay, you're out. He got a blessing, but it wasn't much. Your money shall be unstable as water, etc., etc. Some people kind of equate Reuben to Russia. I don't know. France maybe, but always unstable. And your hand shall always beat your brother's throat or something like that. But Reuben just was disinherited because of that. So he was the firstborn. So the blessing, the double portion, went over him. It bypassed him. It went around him. Whatever. He screwed up. He disinherited because he did something bad. Okay, what about Simeon and Simeon? There's Simeon and Levi. They were disinherited. Why? Because their daughter Dinah, whatever, was molested, raped by Shechem, the son of Shechem, and so they did something. And the guy, then let me tell you this: even though Shechem violated her virginity and took her, he seduced her, whatever, proselytized her, swiped or whatever the word is, he seduced her. Okay, let's put it that way, raped her, whatever you want to call it. Well, they were, in a sense, they were mortified. They were very angry about it, and they took justice into their own hands. What was the problem with the situation? Well, because there's rules, there's Bible laws on if you take a virgin, if you take her forcibly, You got to take care of her. And Shechem said, I will do that. He said, yeah, I will, I'll take care of her. She'll be my wife. And it says that this is an interesting point, discussion, an interesting point in Bible. The first man in the Bible describes as he was he was a man of he was an honorable man, is Shechem. Okay, he was an honorable man because he was going to do the right thing. He was going to obey the law of God, and he was going to take care of Dina, however you want to pronounce it. You can pronounce it however the hell you want. But so he was, but Simeon and Levi messed up because they said, okay, yeah, you can come into our clan, we'll intermarry and everything, blah blah blah. So, but you got to be circumcised. So when they were 8th day of the circumcision, they were really sore and they killed them all. And Jacob was like, what the hell's going on? We're going to be hated by all these people. We're going to be at war with all these people. So he was incensed at Simeon and Levi. They disinherited. Who was the fourth son? Judah. So the scepter went to Judah, but then Jacob split it off of him. He did not receive the blessing. He did not receive the double portion. Joseph did. Why? Because Joseph was, his son of Rachel. Jacob really loved her. He loved Rachel very much, and Joseph is her. He went to the firstborn of his beloved wife, Rachel. So it did kind of, in a sense, it did go to the firstborn, but the other three had disinherited. The first three disinherited, but for some reason, for one unknown reason, this is what it worked out. But the double birthright blessing went to Joseph. To Judah was given the scepter, but to Joseph was given the birthright. Okay, so that's how that all worked out. You see it in a very important part that between Jacob and Esau. See, Esau was hungry, so he sold his birthright for a mess of pottage. He's hungry. Came in from hunting. He's, I'm going to die if I don't eat. Well, I'll sell you some of this. Okay, I think Esau offered it to him. Here, I'll give you. You have my birthright. I just want to eat. Just here, you're going to have it. He didn't value it. He was a thing to be despised. He just despised his birthright. So later, when Jacob's about Israel's about to die, he's about to do the blessings for the double blessing. That's when Rebecca what do you call it? Connives, plots, with her son Jacob to, hey, look, go get a sheep, and I'll make the stew like your dad likes, and so he blessed him. So Esau comes in from the hunting with the lamb or whatever he shot to make the stew. Hey, I just ate, I felt your arms; they were really hairy. They knew Jacob had been supplanted. Jacob supplanted. He was a supplanter. He supplanted Esau. And Esau said, "Oh, Father, bless me, bless even on me." He said, "Sorry, it's too late. I done and did it. And it was a done deal." He blessed kind of the wrong son. He blessed the right son because God planned it all out that way. Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. It was all planned from the start. So what you call predestination or whatever, I don't care what you want to call it, but that's what God says it was. So that's the way God described it. I didn't like Esau. I didn't want him to, for whatever reason, he was a man of blood and a man of, hunting and whatever. So he was disinherited. So Jacob received the double blessing and the birthright. So it was Jacob, they were still both there. But Jacob's son, Judah, it was split between Judah and Joseph. So Judah was given the scepter, to Joseph was given the birthright. This is very, very, very important. And I believe those things are still, in play today in a household of a man of God. So I have that belief in my family that, hopefully someday a son will be worthy of, the right to rule and the blessing. So it might take 20 years. Anyway, so that's where we're set up, Tobiah. Very good point. Over here. Where are we at? Two watching. Started streaming 2 minutes ago. No, come on. Update here. Why is it not? Come on. I gotta play it or something? Hang on, I'm trying to see that tablet to get it running here. Because I don't have any chat on here at all showing up. So I have to be back to my phone. Come on. Oh, live chat. Click on live. There we go. Okay. Nothing there though. It shows Jack saying evening, and that's it. Evening, you sure it's not morning, Jack? Hey, how's a Dubai? I don't know if you meant that as a play on words, but it's a pretty good one. Yeah. He screwed up. Yeah. He went into his father's concubine Billah, and he screwed up. Yeah, or screwed over, screwed around, or yeah, he screwed over. He screwed himself over. Issachar had understanding of the Matzah stars. That's a good point. Is that the word in the Hebrew? I guess if you're saying that, it's probably true. Yeah, that's very good. Of the times, because what it says in Genesis that he put on the fourth day he created the sun, the moon, the stars for signs and seasons, days and years. The seasons being, of course, being Moedim. Signs and seasons, days. Signs made me, yeah. See if the Mazzaroth is in there. That's fascinating, interesting. Very cool. I'll have to look that one up. What's going on? Oh. Hey, look, I'm not very fun tonight. That's okay. I'm going to put this out there anyway because it's a good message for people to get into their heads, and I hope people will listen. Because we're coming from times that are going to be very different. I'm seeing things happen right now. I mean, when I'm saying men that had the Issachar men of Issachar had men who had understanding of the times, and I'm saying yeah, there's people right now that have understanding of the times. You know, I mean, I'm weird. I know I'm different, whatever. But 40 years ago, I was seeing things that are happening today. I knew they were going to happen. I've been planning for things that are going, not haven't even yet happened yet, but I've been planning for them for 20 and 30 years. Search and rescue parties. I mean, I'm looking for people that care about other people more than they care about themselves, as much as they can. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. That means that everybody pretty much loves themselves. Nobody wants to die. Well, love your neighbor as much as you love yourself. And until we get to that point, we're not going to make it. We have zero chance of anybody surviving what's coming. Zero chance, none whatsoever. Unless we can get to the point where we care about other people as much as ourselves. So, people right now need help, and nobody wants to help. I mean, I'm digging deep, trying to. I mean, calling people I haven't talked to for 20, 30 years, trying to find help for a friend, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. They care about themselves. If you listen to this, if you're not listening now, but you're listening later, so I can say some things that I would probably say if you're on, if I knew you're talking, listening, and interacting with me. But I'm just going to say things, that if you hear this message, I don't care what time, tomorrow morning, later today, later tonight, whatever, next week, next month, I don't care what time it is, what day it is, what month it is, or what year it is. If you listen to this, and if you are thinking you have two kids and that's it, that's all you're going to be concerned about, I'm sorry. If you're a husband and wife and all you can think about is taking care of yourself, you're doomed. If you're an old lady that has millions of dollars and all you can think about is taking care of yourself, you're doomed. We have got to be able to take care of other people. I will quote again for the 1000th time, maybe the 1025th time or 1359th time. Our Buckminster Fuller, who was not even a believer, made the statement that I know of. I mean, maybe he was, but he was a scientist he's the guy that invented the geodesic dome and a whole lot of other things. He had the foresight. He was a man of vision. He had foresight to tell Denver, Colorado, that they needed to put in a mass transit system, like even a subway system, where they were going to have a massive amount of fog problems. The smog in Denver is like you can't see through it, and it got cleared up because they mandated a bunch of things and emissions control and stuff like that. So, but anyway, our Buckminster Fuller made the statement, and we just saw this in the life. We now know what true wealth is. True wealth is the ability to regenerate forward life. In other words, how many people can you keep alive for how many days? And I'll say to this: if you think you're a millionaire and you are not willing, or if you're able to, but if you're not willing to take care of other people, help other people stay alive, you're a pauper. You're an absolute beggar in the kingdom of God. You may not even enter the kingdom of God. You know, the rich man and Lazarus. Everybody knows who Lazarus' name is. What is the rich man's name? He's nameless. He doesn't have a name. He is not recognized in the kingdom of God. If you're rich and you're not helping with this operation, with this, helping people get here, you're a pauper. You're a beggar. You're nothing but a beggar, and a pretty miserly beggar at that. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Whatever you're doing with your drugs or happiness, whatever. Stick that in your thing and smoke it. Stick that in your. Well, I'm looking to you. Stick that in your. You know what? Your toy, your favorite toy. So anyway, yeah, I'm talking to you. You know who I'm talking to. If you don't want to help your neighbor, the hell with you. You probably go to hell. We need to get out of ourselves, people. We need to get off of our high horses. We need to get off our high moral horses. We need to get off our high financial horses. We need to get off our high, I don't know, footy-to-duty sources, horses, think we're better than everybody else, think that we're wiser than others, think that we're more spiritual than everybody else. Get off your horse. Get off your high horse and get down to reality. Go help those people that are living down on the river. Go help that woman that's stuck on Meth Mountain. I'm gonna stand still. Somebody say something. I'm not gonna do this much longer because I've said what I got to say and that's about it. So nobody wants to talk. Chat here and I didn't have the chat. Damn it. Okay, so hey, House of Divide. Look like you're my sole occupant right out of the chat room. So thank you for your input there. God bless you, sir. Or assuming you're a guy, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what I want to say. Men of Issachar, and the fact that if we don't get outside of ourselves and start caring about other people, literally have. I mean, just off the top of my head, without even going into a bunch of detail or racking my brain, because I have a lot of people that want to come here. I know Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee, Pennsylvania. I got people that I can even remember at one point. But if you are not willing to help those people, I feel sorry for you. I really do. Yeah, take it out of your account and put it where it can be used naturally. And the thing is, too, is that there has to be. So what I mean, when I talk about CIF, Continuous Immigration Fund, which is a rotating thing. Money's coming in to help people. I mean, and not just money, but people. I mean, I'd like to have a whole team of about 3 or 4 young men who can drive, load. Younger men, I mean, 40, 50, whatever. Even younger kids. There's a lot of really strong young kids that could do that kind of stuff. I texted a bunch of people. I mean, I've been texting for the last 2 days trying to get help. I can't do it. I can't help. I can't help them. I won't help. I don't care what's going on. We don't want them people here. Well, go jump in a lake, swallow a snake, and come up with a bellyache, buddy. Yeah, very sad, very selfish. I'll say this: selfishness will kill, deadly. If you want to be selfish, that means that God's not going to help you when your time comes. When you need it, they got to be there. So, there you go. All right, if nobody says anything right now, I'm out of here. If nobody cares. I don't care either. Apparently nobody cares, so good night. This will be the shortest one ever, Good night, Jack. Good night, House of Tobiah. There'll be no one lacking money. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Oh, well, yeah. I've seen that for 20 years. I've been preaching that message. Actually, when I was in Denver, I was preaching it. Nobody's no. Well, my stuff is my stuff, and I ain't shared it with nobody. Okay, well, be that way. I share my half my income every month with other people. Constantly buying things to help other people to figure out if products are good or not. I've got a thing coming in the mail. It cost me $100. Nobody gave me a penny toward it. I asked for help, and they didn't. Nobody gave me a nickel toward it. I've got ingenious things, absolutely ingenious things, in my head that I'm going to show that works. Oh well, tough shit. I need to bite my tongue. My throat's going, so I need to get something to drink here. Hang on. Where's my coffee? There it is. Kind of chilly. I didn't turn the heater up. Dang it. I'm not getting able to do it either. Dribble it all over, dumbass. Man. Good night, House of Tobiah. Thank you so much for your input tonight. It was very, very good had a good interaction even here with anyone. I mean, Jack was here just for a few minutes. I don't know if she's here now, but so I'll say about two good night. This is the shortest ever. Good night, Jack, and good night, Tobiah. House of Tobiah. Good night. Hey, give me an email there, buddy. Give me a note and let me know where you're at and if we can help you. Are you already here in the Ozark Plateau? Would be a question number one. And if not, whereabouts are you? And is there anything we can do to help? So, all right. See ya. Thank you. Good night.